One? Okay.
Boom! Let's be honest podcast, modest podcast, and about the saddest podcast. And today, we have a new guest, and this guest, the lovely lady beside of me, she's responsible for a lot of your favorite dancehall artists. We have Cara, ShowTime. Is that a good introduction? ShowTime?
Yeah, that works. Yeah, man.
What's your last name?
Burke.
Cara, ShowTime, Burke.
Yeah.
How are you doing? Nice to have
good,
you.
right? Thank you for having me.
No, you don't know this is Lesbians on the first time here, so I forget the bio. Who is Cara?
Who is Cara? A big personality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm affectionately known for making it happen. That's just it. Like, I have an Olivia Pope attitude towards life. So I am the Miss Fix-It, the solution finder, the problem executor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm a businesswoman, I'm a friend. Like,
You're enough hats.
whole heap. And wear them good too.
That is true.
Yeah.
I remember I've been at here about this Cara lady a lot.
Really?
A lot. Yeah,
good or bad?
Good, I tell you.
Can them have some bad things to talk to, you know?
You know, I never hear the bad part.
Really?
And probably the bad part is a good part of me here. Come here, say you stand by your business in a play.
Yeah, I don't play around.
You get me? No, you know, right here, look at English accent. Where you're born in the UK or you're born in Jamaica?
I was born there, and then I was raised here, and then I went back there. And then when I was old enough to decide that, you know, I don't want to live in England, I came here.
So how long you're there Jamaica now?
I've been here 9 years in September.
Okay, so you did high school there or school in here?
Yeah, I did a little bit of high school in
school?
here, Chilani.
Oh, so you're a country girl?
Not really a country girl. I just did a little bit there. I was a bit naughty, very unruly.
Mm-hmm.
My grandparents migrated. Well, they came home, I should say. They were returning residents in the late 80s. And I was, I don't know if I'm going to say I was a favorite. So I spent a lot of time with them. And it worked out that I stayed here longer than expected. Mm-hmm. So I ended up doing a little bit of schooling. And then I went back because I don't think that the discipline here wasn't really for me. I found it quite...
When you say the discipline, beating?
No, not really beating, but it's just, I guess I wasn't happy. I was young, so I guess...
And where in the UK you resided?
London, South London to be precise.
Which football side there? So you have just done by football side?
No, there's not really a football side there, but the nearest team I think would probably be either Chelsea, Fulham, Arsenal. Yeah, like...
Which side do you support?
None.
You don't watch football?
I hate it.
That's crazy. If Jamaica and the UK, you like football?
Yeah, because it's just like it's a huge part of the British culture, you know. I
can't imagine.
I just can't bother.
Mm-hmm.
Like, although I have been to some matches though. Leon Bailey invited us to a match last year. Was it this year? Last year. And we went. And I've been to another one. And the excitement in the stadium is good. Not that, you know, when you're in there, it's nice. But it's just, now I'm going to tell you, say, I run home to go watch Premier League. Mm-hmm. And then, no. I can't keep up.
Okay. So now, why Jamaica? Why come back home?
You know what? If people don't come back home, we're going to just lose the whole island. People have to return. There are great business opportunities here. It's my happy place. I have children. I have 2 daughters. My first daughter went to school here. She went to Emmanuel Christian Academy. During COVID, I returned to London. And then as soon as I could, I returned back. I had a baby. I've got a 3-year-old, so I had a baby in that short time when I went back to London. When I travel a lot, as you can imagine. But Jamaica's my happy place. Like, if you're broke at England, must add one piece of depression. It's just a horrible feeling. If you feel unaccomplished, if you feel down, if it's raining, if you're not really staying away like all you want.
Seasonal depression.
Me can't bother with that. If I'm in Jamaica and I'm going through things, it's just momentarily. Like, you go through things and you bounce. And you don't feel so burdened. The thing about Jamaica is you're not forced to live beyond your means. If you don't have it, you just don't have it. And you just work with it. You understand? Like, the poorest people are the happiest people. When you live in a first world country, it's like keeping up with the Joneses all the time. Like, you constantly feel like you're being judged. You're like, I would never drive a Toyota in England. Like, I'm just not gonna do it.
Marcus Auto, you're good still.
Yeah, I have a Mark X.
Word.
But I'm not gonna drive one of those in England. I drive a very expensive car, and it sits there while I'm here, just out of fear of me going back and not having a whip to jump in. You're not catch me drive certain car in England. I don't want to live like that. I want to be able to just live.
And then entertainment, how you get into management and managing entertainers like that?
It was an accident.
Word.
Yeah, it was an accident.
So you never go to school for like management or anything?
I went to school for media. I went to school for media marketing management. So in the UK, I'm going back a long time ago now. I started out doing an apprentice. I was on an apprenticeship doing work permits and visas. And I was part of a street team for Sony and Warner. And I just fell into it because I was passionate about it. So once I realized I was good at kind of connecting the dots, at booking artists and doing the paperwork for promoters in England, it kind of spiraled real quick. When I moved here, I started a consultant agency, which I was just literally coming up with creative concepts for artists. A lot of people don't know, I've written several video treatments here and in England as well. And so, you know, we would come up with strategies for people to be able to can really lean on the 7 to 10 revenues of income from music. It was a thing that was kind of lost here. There wasn't really...
structure.
There wasn't. And I mean, we've come a long way, but we're still not where we need to be. And I just saw that there was a gap in the market and I just tried to fill it. That was it, really. Initially, it was just bookings and a consultant agency looking at marketing and how to manipulate algorithms and things like that. It just evolved into, oh my God, suddenly I'm babysitting. Suddenly I'm working out how to make somebody better at their craft and
build
their branding and look at co-branding and look at strategy and results, chasing publishing, chasing royalties. And then one client went to, I think went now, like 8, 9. And yeah, the rest is history.
So who was the first artist where you signed on the ShowTime management?
Lolly.
Word.
Yeah, Lolly, Blue Gold, Tama J, Tarlop. So when not when I first came, but like a little bit after being here, I was staple at Friends for Real in Tower Hill. Big up Benji and Red Boom. I was there, and then I helped shift Friends for Real from being a dub studio to a business. So we were really good. We were really strong in building young artists. It was a hub for people to come and record. People would come and pay their little money, and the team there would sit down and register them with BMI and kind of talk people through things and help on their journey then. And funnily enough, I was talking about it the other day. We were at a friend's funeral and Red Boom came to me in the car and said, yo, that youth here. And I looked at him. He was on the field at, I think it was Arnett Gardens, playing around that, you know. And they said, come and send for him. And Red Boom said, no, sir. You think me I go make him do a gully bop, do me? And I said, John, no, man. Come and send for him. Anyway, 2 days later, Benji calls me and says, find him, you know, sis, we find him. I said, yeah. Yeah, he's coming to the studio. Went to the studio. He re-recorded What's on Sale with Red Boom and Jovi. And that's it.
So Lolly was like the catalyst for other artists for...
Initially, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, after that, I worked with Spice. And like I said, Blue Girl, he Magnum King and Tamo J, Tall Up, lots of different people, Singer J, worked with Busy. It was just, like Friends for Real is really a breeding ground for talent. So there was lots of people that came in and out of the studio. I met a lot of people there that I still have great relationships with now. So we were, at that time, was working heavily with Version. It was good. It was a good place to be. It was a good stepping stone for me. And then I still was connected there, but I thought to myself, you know what, let me try to, make something of this consultancy.
So at that time, was it ShowTime or you have a different name?
It was the Creative Consultant Group and ShowTime. ShowTime was just like, because I had ShowTime from England, but I never really pushed it. And back then, when I had it, it was like there was Instagram wasn't what it is now. It was more Facebook and a little bit of Twitter. But yeah, it grew very, very quickly. And then there was a time when I didn't want to do it anymore and it was stagnant, and I was more kind of into activations and branding. So I was working a little bit of Adidas and Calvin Klein, and really I went a little bit corporate. I didn't like it. Bored different.
Corporate?
Yeah, man, boring bad. So when you work with labels and brands, you don't really get to be yourself and you don't really get to be creative. And then as well, you kind of lose yourself a little bit if you're not working within your passion. If you're not within your passion, you kind of just exist to pay the bills.
Like the 8,000 for Urban.
Me not depend that.
I feel it. So now, you manage Lolly. Like, what you taking Lolly to the next level has done for you in terms of like outside of even Jamaica?
You know what? I could tell you something. Off of that one song, What's on Sale initially, we did a little bit of traveling. What Lolly taught me was, he taught me some very valuable lessons, I could tell you that much. Because I think everything happened so fast for him, it also happened so fast for me. And between the two of us and the other people we were working with, we lacked understanding of some things. And I guess there wasn't really any bitter blood, but there was some issues that we're good now, but we wasn't good then.
Are you on Lolly?
Yeah. We're good now, but we had there was a time when we wasn't so good. But I'm very grateful for my experience with him because it was so nice to see a ghetto youth become something so quick. He was so smart. He was book smart and street smart. He had a vibe. He was a personality, and I enjoyed working with him. I definitely would say that Lolly was a huge stepping stone for me. It was definitely a platform for me. Working with him was colourful.
So that was at the trial and error stage in a management.
Definitely, because yeah, definitely. And when you're in management, you have to deal with a lot of personalities. Everyone's different. Even now, the roster that we have now, everybody's really different. So. And
then after Lolly, who was another big artist for say, all right, Cara?
Spice. Yeah, I worked really closely with Spice. When she was doing her captured mixtape, I worked with her on that. Working with her was a huge accomplishment and lesson. Working with Spice taught me a lot.
And then how did that even come about? You and Spice linking up?
That was Red Boom. Yeah, man, that was Red Boom. Red Boom was mixing and working closely with Spice, and at the time she needed somebody to help her with something. So remember, I had referenced myself to the Olivia Pope, so there was something that she needed help with, and I assisted and got victory in her result. And then we just hit it off from there. I did some traveling with her, did the captured launch mixtape party up at 100. I can't even remember what year that was. The same year when she was unpleasant to Nara, that year.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. I can't remember what year. What was that, like 2018?
So as a manager, though, you shouldn't make shit,
I can't make anybody do
that's true.
that.
You could have advised, though.
What? How? You remember how quick that happened?
I wasn't there.
Oh.
And then I said,
definitely. That's another thing, like people always think that managers or agents or consultants can control what an artist says or does. They just can't. What you can do is some damage limitation or some damage control.
So question, is there ever a time where you have to say, I have to step away from this because you just not take heed to nothing what me I tell you?
Yeah, man.
So you had to drop a client before?
Yeah.
But now I mention that, I love it. No, we'll fast forward now. Me can tell you after that, say, I heard your name synonymous with Skeng.
Okay.
So you're Skeng under proper management. Oh, that link make. And why did it see that him for say, all right, I'm going to take on that youth?
You know that it was some friends of mine that are actually here now, connected with another mutual friend in England that introduced me to his father. So I remember one evening, one of my business partners from Estate Entertainment come and got me and drove me all the way to Birmingham from London to go and meet with his dad. I sat with his dad and he said, listen, I've got a son and he's talented. He wants to do music. I don't know anything about music and I just don't trust people. Well, how can you help? Literally, that was it. And then I said, oh, all right then, who is he? Told me who he was. I took a trip to Jamaica, I think the following week. The rest is history.
So which Skeng this? Which Skeng you book him at? Like the...
Brooke.
Oh, okay, initially?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so what was... Why him? Because that song was like it was an in the streets viral song. It wasn't... I wouldn't even say viral yet. This is an in the street song where certain people know. Because I heard that song when me did there at Atlanta. I mean, I said, who are you time tough? I mean, I'm there DM back and forth them time there, whatever. But until like gunman shift, it really explode. So why you say that time you would have taken him on serious?
You know what? Initially, I didn't, if I'm honest. Skeng is a very infectious character. When you meet him, you're going to love him or hate him, either way. And I just loved him. He's authentic. He speaks his mind. He doesn't mince his words. And he is raw talent. Like, differently, he's electrifying just as a talent and as a person. And when I met him, he had his creative team. He was solid with The Truth, that's Coop.
Shaka and John
Buddha and Shaka and Coop, which is John Coop. And that was them, and the formula that they had worked. Like everything that they were chopping out just sounded amazing. I initially just came in to create formulas for them for business, with bookings and just consulting to make sure that the kind of artist he is now, he would be steady. So sorting out his paperwork and things like that, working closely with his parents. So even now, everything about him is his mum. I work with his mum very closely.
So he's very family oriented.
Yeah, he is. But you can see that. He is. He's very, very loyal, very family orientated. That's just, if I could sum him up, that would be him.
And you know, Skeng got him controversy them. How you like the damage control? Or you think the damage control is even needed when it comes down to Skeng?
I don't think it's needed with him because he is who he is and he's unapologetic about it. It's just who he is. But that's just what I with him, it's really, honestly, like, I just feel like he's so misunderstood. He really is, because I'm not saying that he's not turbulent. He's a human being like anyone else. But people are so intrigued as into whether or not what they see is really who he is. What you see is what you get.
Yeah, but I mean, I couldn't make I know him outside of music, I couldn't make a judgment on him as a fan because he doesn't really interviews that much.
He doesn't.
Is that like a management thing or just his personal choice?
You know what? Most of them, the new era, the new age artists, they don't trust media because media can be misinterpreted and it's used as a manipulation tool. And there's been interviews here in Jamaica that have proven that. And it can be very dangerous. And so I guess if you're not able to control your own narrative, you might not want to be put in that situation where you're asked things that you just really don't want to talk about. And that's the problem. I think here particularly, the journalists here don't have any tact. A lot of them they interview for clout and they don't interview to get sustainable, interesting knowledge, personal accountability. They're not interested in triumphs and victories. They're not interested in growth and development. They just want
that
what
moment
they think.
there.
Yeah.
One moment for 3 days.
Yeah,
It's so much.
and not even 9 days news. It's like 3 days. I mean, what does that contribute to our society?
Or even the genre?
Or the genre, like, it's crazy. So I don't wrong them. And we're in the age of music where, yeah, doing interviews is good. And I guess some interviews are a lot more credible than others.
For sure.
Some are definitely going to help you. I mean, who doesn't want to do a Rolling Stone or a Billboard,
Let's be honest.
or
Right?
or Let's Be Honest. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
I'm here. That says a lot.
That says a lot.
Yeah, man, for true.
So who was on the roster?
Kraff. Yeah, Kraff is on our roster. Rajah Weil, Chanel Muir, Najeri, DJ Banker, Ellie Janae. Am I missing anyone? Christina? Am I missing anyone? Yes, Skeng. Yeah, that's for management, under Migo management. So Migo management, or managed by Migo, is myself and TJ, affectionately known as Tiff. It's the management arm of ShowTime. So we separated the entities. ShowTime I have with my sister Laura, who's London based. And then we have a team, all women. We have Jade, project manager, Christina, head of operations and marketing, Samara does visas and admin, Daisy does contracts and comms, and then there's me, and as I said, Laura and Tiff. So everybody has their artists, and everybody deals with a different artist.
Okay, so nobody, so an artist can't feel like, so what you know, should use King more than how or if he left out.
We don't have that problem. Somebody's always traveling with someone. And so that's management. But bookings, that we book for everybody. So we're heavy on bookings with like 450, Valiant, Jada, Jaquan, trying to think about Vanessa Bling. Yeah, we book for everyone.
All right, so you mentioned Kraff, Rajah, Skeng, Chanel, who was my miss? Najiri. Yeah, these are like the top guys for the new generation. Like, why them have so much trust in you?
Why you asking me now?
Oh, for real, because number one, you don't know, all them man, them dark. And not trust people.
Yeah, they don't.
So for all them gather and come together as one and say, what got to Cara?
I mean, it's not just me, it's all of us. And I think everybody has a little bit of something that they all like. But the most important thing is that we're transparent. We're transparent, and we're not into dictatorship. We're into growth and development. We're in small, bite-sized portions, teaching them the business so that they can be self-sustainable. It's not a thing where they have to stay with us, right? If any of them got up today and said, you know that, we're going left or we're going right, we want to make sure when they're going left or they're going right, nobody can take them feed it and them good. We're very, we're mummies as well, so we have an element of compassion. We have understanding. We do have patience. And we don't judge. We just work. We work and we're like, okay, this is the target for this month. You're going to save because you've got that to do. We're going to get you a collaboration with this person because we need you to be listened to over yonder. You need to do that show because it's a different audience. Everything is about tactic and strategy. We're not just there.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
And the management, entertainment managers in Jamaica, do you guys have a good understanding, or there's like tension between managers here?
You know what? Someone else asked me that. Me good with everybody, Whether or not they're good with me is not my business. I'm good with everybody. You understand? Because it makes better sense for us to work together. I'm not here for social media glory.
Yeah.
That's why you didn't know me.
I heard of
see
it.
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just not here for it. I'd rather not have social media glory. I'd rather ShowTime and Migo and my name be etched in history for making a difference to this culture.
Yeah, run down the manager and a year title.
Not interested. I could swing around a Benz in Jamaica if I wanted to. I mean, look at me, you can tell.
I know that was a shot at somebody, but
It's not, but I can.
I'm just saying.
No, it's not a shot. I'm a very anyone that knows me knows I'm direct.
Yeah.
So even in putting together this show, Road to Greatness, I was like, do I want to do it? And other people.
That's the show in St. Thomas called June Fresh, right?
Yeah. So people were encouraging me, like, you're always doing things for other people, do something for yourself. I mean, I could make a lot more noise than what I do, but it's just not, it's not conducive to me or my team. We just want to work.
And the results
results show for themselves. I'm not really into.
But before we get to Road to Success.
Road to Greatness.
Sorry.
Success works too.
Yeah, there you go. Synonyms.
Yeah.
Management again. Like, you ever hear about a situation and you say, oh, that now make we look good? Because remember, just like how me at the podcast feel and an artist probably don't want to come on, let's be honest. And because of Jeffrey doings it, because of our next podcast or our next show doings, if you like, sometimes you hear and you say, him tell the promoter what, or she tell the promoter what, then that make we look soft too. That make we as a genre, as a culture down here look soft, like you can't take off for either. Because I've had, in the industry, we hear people talking and say that some man take some look joke money and them quote unquote hot, them for just wall out, don't take the bag of show them. If I want to hear about you again, you're not sending out the artists them to get some joke money. You make sure so them come back and something in the pocket, and you also make sure so them deliver as well.
Absolutely.
Over there. So that ever bother you too?
It bothers me. But you can't control what our next man does or how he operates. Like, sometimes it's not even worth trying to give advice. Because I as an individual, as a businesswoman, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
I'm still learning. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I make some not so good decisions. But I have a good team that no matter what, we're very resilient. We're women. Like, everyone, they need women on their teams. That's what I would say. Most management teams need women. Some of the best managers in the game are women. Colleen Samuels, Karina Beckford. Like, some of the Sharon Burke, Sharon Williams. You understand? So, yeah, like, some things happen and you're like, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
But everybody has their own style of working. And what works for somebody else might not work for me and vice versa. But it's honestly, when one person does something and it's bad, it definitely does affect how other people perceive other managers or other booking agents. Because there's some people that do things that are unscrupulous. That really, really is. And then I can sit here and say that people might think that we work the same way and we don't. And it's not until people work with us, they realize that we don't work like that. If an artist tell me, say, him want 50 grand, me tell the promoter, say, 50 grand and just pay 10% booking fee. I'm not going to tell the promoter that it's 60 grand the artist want. That's what we call padding. I don't do that. We don't do that. And other people do that. And so what happens is you get this thing in the industry where people start to cross-reference and cross-check. And then it makes a whole genre look bad. That is an issue. That's something that happens. It's something that needs to be spoken about too, because they need to stop it.
Yeah. I've heard about that too.
Yeah, they need to stop it, man. Just do the right thing and just collect the right percentage and just know say it go.
Yeah, artists them never end up fall out over that.
No, we don't have them problem there.
Okay.
Remember I said we were transparent?
100%.
Yeah, we don't have those issues.
Okay. And then now, what advice you could I give to upcoming managers or people who want to get into this industry?
Learn. Learn. There's so much platforms and avenues, or so many, because so much isn't good English. So many.
As a Brit, right?
Yeah?
As a Brit.
Yeah, as a Brit. I need to speak properly. You know?
Yeah.
Independent learning is a thing. You just have to be committed. No matter what, it doesn't matter what field you're in. Learn. You have to be able to teach yourself if you are not in a position to be taught by others. And in this particular industry, everything changes so quickly. It's constantly evolving. So what was the case I don't know, 6 months ago in certain...
It might change.
Definitely. Whether it be in digital, whether it be in publishing, whether it be in... Visas constantly. Yeah, you just got to keep refreshing yourself, and that needs research and it needs time.
Okay. And then promoters now, because you know, you and them at it.
All the time.
So what's something a promoter might not understand you as a manager face where they might have say you'd be unreasonable?
Promoters often think that you control the artist, but you don't. You're managing. And people often get it twisted. We work for the artist. The artist doesn't work for us.
Yeah.
That's not what management is. It's the artist that pays us. So essentially, you know, the buck stops with them. It's their decision. And what we do is make sure that end-to-end business is done as clinical as possible so that everybody delivers. Some managers and some booking agents are unfair. They're biased and one-sided. I think we've built a reputation for ourselves by being fair and showing good business etiquette. Because it can't just be about our clients. Because if we don't deliver to the promoters, then the promoters don't return. I got kids to feed. The artists have children to feed too, and families to feed, and communities to build, right? So there has to be a level of understanding in the business that services both the purchaser and the vendor. It can't just be one-sided.
Yeah. When I make a bag of money and then the patrons them go
Yeah. And sometimes the promoters also, sometimes they're really nasty too. So the reputation that I built by being strong and, you know, having a zero tolerance to promoters, I've had to be like that. Because if you follow them, barely but them take it off. If you follow them, they will put you in some places to sleep where, yeah, just no.
Motel 6.
Yeah, me not depend that.
All right, so road to greatness. First and foremost, why St. Thomas?
So initially, it was just about going to underserved parishes. Because it's the same parishes keeping stage shows all the time.
Yeah, Kingston, Ochi.
Yeah, Mobe. It's just like, oh, it's tedious. And quick fun fact. So my husband is originally from St. Thomas, and we flipped a coin between St. Thomas and Trelawney. So when I went to my business partners, that's Estate Entertainment, and I was like, okay, cool, I want to do this stage show. And I'm saying St. Thomas. If I'm honest, most of the artists that are booked on there haven't yet performed in St. Thomas. That for me was a selling factor because we're business people. Yeah, it was a flip of the coin merged with the fact that it just made business sense to go there.
And where in St. Thomas is this?
Yalis Primary School.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what the lineup?
Beginning. Lineup. So it's obviously all of our babies. So we have Skeng, Kraff, Valiant, Rajah Wild, Najeri, Vanessa Bling, Cocker High Flames, Version. Remember I spoke about my history? Yeah, so Version, Zaga, Biggs Done, Zionai, Invasion, The Eruption, Rasta City. I know you have to have the St. Thomas artists. Yeah. And we have some special guests. Yeah. But you're coming.
Yeah.
You're going to be there.
For sure.
All right, so may I go have you up?
The only minute for if Madrid lose, I'm just
oh, please. We're back to football?
I said, really? Oh, no, yeah. Man, be real with you. Because them something that hurts me. I'm ball and them thing that Madrid lose.
No,
yeah, man, ball and
I said serious.
Football serious, man. Football serious.
That's, well, okay.
Football serious, man. So imagine with more out there, man.
Then that's
celebrate,
it.
Man, for real.
Okay.
Real celebration.
All right.
And then, admission.
So it's $8,000 at the gate. Early bird tickets are sold out. We're almost sold out to pre-sold tickets too. Pre-sold tickets are $6,000. They're available in Kingston. They're at Loud Fashion, Terry's Cosmetics, Fierce by Dre.
Nothing online?
Yeah, Ticket Gateway /Road to Greatness. Don't do that. Yeah, they're available online. In St. Thomas, they're at Double Scoops. They're at Necessities. They're at Wasp Nest Fashion. They're everywhere. Okay. Yeah, man. The ticket them out there, man.
I know the St. Thomas people are receiving this.
Can I just be totally honest with you? I'm not sure. I'm gonna be positive and say they're receiving it good. They're receiving it well.
I mean, I can't imagine they're not really saying about it more.
I mean, it's buzzing. Like you know what? The road to St. Thomas is beautiful. I cannot believe the traveling time that is taken off of that journey. Because I'm not gonna tell you no lie, it's a significant difference. And there's lots of reasons why people should attend. You know, Road to Greatness isn't just a stage show. It's an experience. It's with live bands, you know. Okay. It's with tower bands. And then we have Banker, Javi Supreme, DJ Rella. And the host is hosted by Fireman. And he did a fantastic job the other day at the 450 concert. I like him. I like new, vibrant talent. I like people that stand out. You understand? And yeah, if I could...
You ever try to steal a client? Like I say, you know, sir, honestly, me know what to do with you, but me not feel your management know what to do with you.
Ewa. Me not looking at. So I've never done that because people assume that I do that and I don't. But they come eventually. They come.
Is it fine you?
Yeah, man. I can honestly say that I've never toted a client. Never. I've never pulled a client away from somebody. But that's been done to me though.
Okay.
Yeah, people have taken clients from me. And I take it on the chin. It's business. Like, none of us are rooted. After we're in a tree, we have to move around. I don't have a problem with people shifting because everything is seasonal. It's just the way life is.
And I know artists, because we see enough artists and we know some of them talented, but why you feel like dancer music a that way? We grew up come see it with the Shaggy and the Shampas and the Buju Banton and all them things. Why you feel we kind of peak certain places. Like for instance, right now I notice this whole Amazura thing, you know? Everybody wants to sell Amazura, but we don't even pass that now. Like how much we're gonna sell Amazura? Like a Barclays is there, MSG, I think Buju is going to
he's going to one of those venues.
Yeah, and that's kind of not say it's sad that Buju is going there, but sad that Buju is the only one even attempting to go there. You get me? I say, and we have so much big talent out there now.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't really understand how it works in the background, you know.
Yeah.
So you have the giants, right? So there's giant concert and festival providers. They have to see the value in you. So we're talking about net value in you as a live performer that they can earn money off of, and it's a residual income, right? If it's not that, they're just not coming for you. We're talking about companies like Live Nation that put on tours, right? And those tours cost millions of dollars. You go into stadiums and arenas, nothing less of 5,000, and you sell out. Then they co-brand, there's merchandising, there's sponsorship, there's endorsements, you know, you get sport affiliates. It's a big, big business. We're not scratching those numbers. We're not. And we can be, and we should be. That's my whole thing, right? Instead of us squabbling amongst ourselves and this whole, I don't even know what to call it. Everyone just needs to be focusing on the fact that there's so many other genres that are piggybacking off of dancehall. So many other genres that sound like us. You know, they're using our drum patterns and they're using our samples. And yeah, we use samples too. But the truth of the matter is we should be a lot greater than what we are. And a lot of that is just down to poor business.
What about overcharging? How do you put a value on an artist? Because I've heard promoters complaining that, yo, I spend how much in money and I don't see nothing.
It's a thing. It's a thing. But how does one ascertain whether or not an artist is overcharging? Because it's about profit potential, right? So when you're going to book an artist, you should do the fundamentals. So you do your expenses. So you do your forecast, put together a budget, and you're like, okay, this is what I need to spend, and I need to sell this amount of tickets to make back this. If that doesn't make sense from the beginning, leave it alone, or go for an artist that you can afford. I don't know. I don't do that. If somebody's not happy with the price, I say, okay, I offer them.
I'm not the guy. This is not the guy for you.
And I say, is there anybody else I can offer you? Or what is your budget? Let me help you. I'm sure we have an artist that might be within your budget. But you can't come and ask for a $70,000 artist and your budget is 25. It's like you're wasting my time and yours.
Mm-hmm.
When this whole notion about dancehall artists overcharging, the problem is not necessarily that they're overcharging, is that where they're going, a lot of the promoters are Jamaican working class people that keep events and keep parties, or they're round robins and they put all their money together and keep events. Whereas other genres, like for example, Afrobeats,
actual promoters is what is their job.
Are huge companies, right? They are huge companies and they have an endless bucket of money and they're able to put you in arenas and stadiums, right? It might be, one might say that dancehall doesn't have
pulling power.
One might say that, right? But it depends on the territory, because in the Latin market, dancehall has pulling power.
Mm-hmm.
In Africa, dancehall has pulling power. In Europe, it's reggae. England is dancehall. Some parts of America, it's dancehall. Some parts of America, it's reggae or culture. You understand? It just depends, and that's.
So, question: would you change your price depending on who call? So, let's say Nashville, Tennessee call, and we want to say, yo, we can't put like 1,000 people there. So, yeah, I just change the price versus a New York where says
absolutely.
Okay.
And there's some managers that don't do that because they don't understand the market. They literally don't know what they're doing.
Okay.
But you cannot go into a low economic territory and expect to charge a high economic territory price. You just can't. You have to have flexibility. And if you don't understand the market, you don't understand the price point, then your artist is going to just stay sitting in their community.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, our artists travel. They're out there because we're not hard and fast. I'm not going to say this is the price and, well, this is it and that. No. That doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense for the artist. Doesn't make sense for us, because the artist needs to be heard in order to grow. Mm-hmm. If an artist goes to a live performance and there's a new fan, right? That is the opportunity to turn that consumer into a fan or that fan into a consumer. Either way, you're going to win because it's an extra listener. We're now in the age of digital. Everything is a numbers game. The more people listen to you, the more money you make. It's not hard. Mm-hmm. But some people just don't get it.
Okay. What's next for Cara and ShowTime?
A bagare, as Skeng would say. Darkness, as Rajah would say. And Kraff would say sinful. Like just stuff. Everybody's working on bodies of work. There's EPs, there's albums. Road to Greatness, it's going to be a success. June 1st. Road to Greatness. When this one is out the window, we'll be working on the next one, which is in Chilani. So we're gearing towards that. Skeng has a European tour. He's in the middle of doing his US stuff. Kraff and Rajah will be embarking on their US. Chanel is doing her her EP, her story. Najeri is working on his body of work. Kaka High Flames. Kaka's another, he's total genius. His management, Sheke Firely, we work closely with him. He's working on workshops, like actual dancing workshops. And, he's so young, but he's turned his thing into a viable business. So we're really proud of him, working with him, trying to get these workshops up and running and to travel with them also. I don't want to miss anybody. Ellie Janae, we've just signed Ellie Janae. And there's a lot going on. A lot.
In our past times, recent times too, I would say artists and producer kind of always at it, especially if a song blows up and go international. Now you as management, you make sure it's like certain things is in writing, so it's not like, all right, Sony want to buy the song for 10 grand and this man want paying bills. And he must say, oh, could I sell it for the 10 grand and bust up? And next man I say, no, the song worth more. And, you know, like, why I laugh? Why I laugh?
Because it is such a thing. And you're talking facts, like a real life. Yeah, anyway. Yo, I feel like that scenario has such a negative impact on the genre, and it is destroying a lot of fundamental relationships. I can't speak about the whole industry. I can only speak about what we do. Bearing in mind, sometimes when you get an artist, they don't necessarily have their shit together. They don't. But a part of good management is good communication, and it is about not highlighting what they don't have together and more like trying to fix it. So Christina, who's head of operations, and TJ, who handles all of the publishing and royalty accounts, they come up with a formula that works for our artists. So our artists now have it in their heads that we have digital split sheets on their phones. They're dealt with. If they're going into studio, they call one of us, you know, you have to talk to management. We have a conversation. We exchange emails, and documents are exchanged that night. When registrations are done, everything is done in an orderly fashion and in a timely fashion. We're still right now chasing up and fixing things. There's a lot of crisis management going on. It's a thing though. And I feel like the responsibility is that of the producer and the artist, because they're adults, right? They're adults, and everybody's got to be responsible for their own assets and for their own intellectual property. And in order for them to do that, they have to have knowledge and understanding. And I think that's where we've got the big gap, is that maybe some people know better and don't want to do better, but other people genuinely just don't know.
Don't know.
And that needs to be fixed. I feel like in that respect, maybe Ministry of Entertainment need to step in and offer something. You understand? Because it's not something that's taught in school. It's not taught at Edna Manley. I don't
So you and Bobsy, them have like a relationship?
Yeah, good
Minister
one.
Granger. So like me and her friend.
Like, Auntie. I call her Auntie B, but
Yeah.
we do. And Miss McDaniel up there. Yeah, they're very supportive. Not just of even Road to Greatness, actually. They're supporting Road to Greatness, but they're very supportive overall.
So the narrative that the government don't support the music is false.
I think that exists for people who make themselves unavailable.
Okay.
I think that might exist for people who don't seek their assistance. I mean, even if you want an attestation letter, if you're doing a permit or a visa or anything, if you have a relationship with them and you call them, they will help. I don't know I can speak for myself and my team. We're good. I don't know about anybody else.
Okay.
I mean, maybe they could do more. Yes, they could do more. Considering there's so many entertainers and the entertainment industry is so big, they know they need to do more, but resources are limited and so are funds. You know,
So the same producer, artist issues. Like you ever have to, when you get an artist now, you have to say, all right, wait, you sign one, you take, and you have to go back now and clean it up.
Yeah.
And is that difficult to do?
Sometimes. But we have some badass. We have some badass lawyers. Our legal team, right across the board, is top notch. So when people hear about who your lawyer is, they're like, oh, and they shift up real quick.
Okay, but suppose the narrative now is like, yo, ShowTime and some, you know, they might come bother you up and they might come use them big top law, you have to come scrape a weed, it's supposed to
It's not a scrape. See, that's mentality though, and that's what needs to change. Because everybody is due something. Yeah, I forgive to Caesar what due to Caesar. One man can't get everything. There's no complete song without lyrics. A composition is a composition. The minute there are lyrics and a voice on it, it becomes a song. It's not a song without those three components, right? But those three components might come from three different people. There's the writer, there's the voice, and there's the composer. Then there's mechanical, there's songwriting. You understand? There's lots of moving parts to music. And the minute people start to accept and own what is theirs and stand for what is theirs and not somebody else's, the better things will be. That's just it.
I feel it. Final question. Because, you know, me, you know, there are certain top producers and top artists, man, I realize that dancehall is very big, you know. Because I always use America as like the mecca of entertainment, which I think it is.
It is.
If you're going to win the biggest award for music, which is a Grammy, the American award, same with Oscars, you name it. But I noticed that a lot of these American artists cannot go to Europe and sell out anywhere. But a reggae artist can. And when they go Africa, them not go Africa, they might go South Africa, but you not see them at Gambia and Zimbabwe. So where do you think reggae and dancehall outside of Jamaica has the biggest market?
The biggest market? Definitely United States.
You think, okay, not Africa?
No, because if that was the case, we would tour Africa a lot more frequently.
Okay.
The artists tend to do state by state a lot more frequently than they do the African countries. Remember, Africa's huge, but they tend to Nigeria, Ghana, Gambia, Kenya, Zimbabwe, Senegal. Where else? Yeah, they tend to book dancehall and reggae, whereas America's America. Like most states call. Even like you said, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh.
I have a good relationship with the promoter there. He's Jamaican. Big up One Swag. He calls every 3 months and somebody goes.
Okay.
And it's a very small market. But then you have the bigger markets like Atlanta, New York. New York gets saturated with dancehall and reggae. And the artists are called upon a lot more out of America than they are in Africa. So I guess it's a natural statistic to reveal itself, definitely.
And then, I was last question, I said really the last question now. What's something you have learned traveling? We can say, wow, I never understand that. And as a culture shock.
A culture shock is that even when you go to a country where English is not their first language, they love, appreciate, and enjoy dancehall like they are living in the culture, like they understand everything that the artist is saying. It blows my mind all the time. You know, you go to some places and they don't speak English. Paris, for example.
Okay.
Christina's like, Paris. Yeah, like, that blows my mind a lot. And as well as the children, the age, the demographic listenership worldwide blows my mind. Like, we went to Guyana the other day, and there were these kids, little children crying to come into the venue to meet Skeng.
Word.
Yeah, so those things are, yeah.
And who's an artist that, like, on the ground, somebody that say, it's not the hottest artist or man, a big artist, but when you go overseas, it's like, wow, this is the man. But a reggae art dancer.
You know, I use him as an example all the time. Charlie Blacks makes some serious noise in the Latin market. Like, numbers, huge numbers. Conscience, huge numbers. He goes to Africa and does, yeah. There are some artists that, you know, I don't think that they get what they should get here at home, but when they go into certain territories, it's phenomenal. Agent Sasco, phenomenal numbers. Vanessa Bling, she did Guadeloupe the other day, crazy. Yeah, like, and it's always so refreshing, you know, because I think that there's a certain type of dancehall that's timeless, you know, and those artists have timeless music. And I definitely feel that there's a gap between the new age, the new era, the new artists, and the nostalgic artists. There's a disconnection. There definitely is.
Okay.
I'd like to be able to try and bridge that disconnection one day, somehow.
One day, well, over next time I have an interview here, you bridge that gap there. Well, Cara, it was lovely having you. Little people can't find me.
Yes. ShowTime services across all media platforms.
So that's TikTok, IG.
Yeah.
Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook.
Now, when you spell it, because I remember say you have somebody out there now probably I say, you should manage some of the people and then they're going to make for them ShowTime and then talk about dub and bookings.
Hey, them bad enough.
Yeah, so when you tell them the show
It
time.
is literally ShowTime, ShowTime, services with an SSERVICES across all platforms.
And the underscore?
The underscore is only in the Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, make sure.
Yeah. But from you see the page, you're gonna know.
Okay.
Like,
some people not gonna know. Me know how they manage for them know.
yo,
But some people not gonna
scammer
know.
them out for true though. Yeah, they do try. But yeah, like I said, it's just about how you manage your business. So we're pretty tight like that.
Okay, well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. That's a thank you for having me. But I say it sometime. Oh God.